Shri Swami Nandatmajananda ji, Professor Dr. Mohanan Kunnummal, Dr. P.V. Viswanathan Namboothiri, Shri A.V. Narayana Sharma, Sahodri Sahodranmare Elavarkum Ente Vandanam. I would have loved to speak in Malayalam, but I want to be at ease with myself. I might commit pronunciation mistakes, therefore, with your permission, I will speak in English. I'm extremely thankful to Swamiji for taking the initiative to organize this discussion on the book. I won't like to say author, I would say compiler, because we have the tradition of compiling wisdom. Vyas in Indian tradition is not considered an author. He is considered a compiler of Indian wisdom. And you have followed the same tradition. And what a wonderful book it is. Very erudite, profound, yet in very simple language, you have explained the profound Vedantic concepts. I myself, I was always, when it came to understand, I have said earlier also, there is a Shanti mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. I read the translation so many times by so many authors, yet always felt as if something has escaped me. Have not fully grasped the meaning of this Shanti Mantra. And what floored me totally, won me over, and it was sheer coincidence that when the book came in my hands and I opened it, it opened where you have explained the Upanishad, and this mantra was there. And what a wonderful and simple, easy to understand explanation you have given. I am not, because I am participating here, therefore I have to praise the author. Not really. I genuinely consider this book as a very profound and scholarly work. And if I had the authority, I would prescribe it, if not in this thick volume, then at least in abridged edition, for our younger people especially. Why I am saying so? I am going to make a bit harsh statement. We have every reason to feel proud of our cultural, intellectual, and wisdom tradition. Every reason. But we also have a sense of shame because we have not lived up to that tradition. The greatest disservice that we have done to this glorious tradition is that we ourselves are not fully familiar. And this tradition does not, as you say in English, walk the talk. The teachings of this glorious tradition somehow are not reflected in our actions. The world is hungry for a message like that of Vedanta. But people don't have the time to understand that message by reading the books. And this is not with any particular group of people, with everybody. We always try to see that those who swear by this tradition, how do they conduct their affairs in their life? That is, as Mahatma Gandhi had said, my life is my example. Message is not, in fact, the Indian tradition says, it says even about the Vedas, that this is apara vidya, Brahm vidya, knowledge of the akshar, which does not come by learning alone, by scholarship alone. Famous dialogue between Narad and Sanat Kumar. Tarati Shokam Atmvid. The knower of the self crosses the ocean of sorrow. And Narad has gone to Sanat Kumar. That I know everything, I know Vedas, I know Nakshatra Vidya, I know Shastra Vidya, I know Shastra, I know everything. Yet, I am not at peace with myself. Then Sanat Kumar asked him that I'll teach you provided I know what you already know. And he gives this long list of various disciplines in which he is master. And then he tells that these are merely names. These are merely words. They cannot bring you peace. Even if you are a great scholar of these books, it won't bring you peace. The peace will come through Atma Gyan, through Brahm Vidya. Know yourself, Atma Nam Vidhi. Indian tradition attaches supreme importance to Atma Vidya, the Para Vidya, knowledge of Akshar, knowledge of the indestructible. Everything else is mithya. Knowledge of mithya is also essential. Knowledge of science is also essential. But that does not give you ultimate peace. Ultimate peace, as Sanat Kumar had told Narad, it comes from Atma Vidya, Atma Gyan, Brahm Gyan, whatever name you want to use. There are so many names for it. And I had thought, I stayed myself, went into other things. But the email which Dr. Viswanathan had sent me said that I should focus more on Tattvam Asi. The message of the Upanishads with focus on Tattvamasi. So I remembered having read somewhere that a very prominent exponent of Vedanta, Upanishads, a master, once he explained or summed up the message of Vedanta through an anecdote. And the anecdote was that the king of Maudha, his courtiers, they decided to organize a play for the entertainment of the royal couple. In that drama, there was a character, princess, young child princess of Kashi. There were many other characters, but to play that character, young child princess of Kashi, they could not find a suitable child. Then the queen herself said they had a 7-year-old son who was very good looking. So the queen told the organizers that why don't you dress him up as the child queen of Kashi? So he was dressed up as the child princess of Kashi, not queen, child princess of Kashi. And he, in that attire of a child princess, looked absolutely enchanting and fabulous. He was a very good-looking boy. So the queen ordered the court painter to make a painting of this son of theirs in that attire. After 15, 16 years, which means he now was 22, 23-year-old, a handsome young man, one day he went to the attic, to the storeroom, and he saw that painting in the storeroom. And he was himself fascinated by the looks. And there it was written, date was also given, Princess of Kashi. He was absolutely fascinated. And in his mind he decided, he saw the date, so he thought that the girl is almost of the same age as mine. And he is now 23 years old. So I will marry this girl. But he could not muster courage to tell his parents. So he was, in a sense, lost. He withdrew himself, and he was not his normal self. The king and queen were disturbed by this new attitude of the prince. And the matter was entrusted to an old minister to find out what is wrong with the boy. He took him into confidence, and he revealed to him that I want to marry a girl. He said, what is the problem? Why you have to be withdrawn? In any case, the king and queen will be very happy, and they want you to be married. Where is the problem? And who is the girl? Said, I have not met her. I have seen only her portrait. And where is that? In the storeroom. So the minister said, please take me there so that I can see the portrait. He saw it, thought about it, and he recalled that this was a painting which was made of the prince when he was attired in the prince's dress 15, 16 years back. So the minister told him, this is no princess of Kashi. The prince said, I do not mind whether she is a princess or she is a commoner, but I want to marry her only. Then minister told him, she is not even a girl. He said, what do you mean? Then he gave him the whole story. And he said, looked at it with more attention. These were your features in your childhood. He looked at it and he realized that the portrait was of him only. And that is what Tattvam Asi means. And here I recall, in fact, I came to my mind just when I was sitting there, that Swami Vivekananda, but before that, I should say something more. What is the message of Upanishad? The message of Upanishad is divinity of mankind. As Swami Vivekananda in one of his letter to sister Nivedita wrote, my mission can be explained in very simple words. And the words are very important. I want to teach unto mankind their divinity and its manifestation in all movements of life. He did not say, I want to teach unto Indians. I want to teach unto those who believe in Sanatana tradition. He said, I want to teach unto mankind. The unique contribution of Indian civilization is, and it is the only civilization, only wisdom tradition. The unique contribution is that it has divinized humanity and humanized divinity. When we talk of avatars, what we see in them? We see in them divinity unfolding itself. Individuals who succeed, as Swami Vivekananda said, religion is nothing but manifestation of divinity that already exists in man. Everybody has that thing. Nobody is denuded of that. The only problem is that Brahm lies buried under the layers of ahem in each one of us. Individuals who are successful through their tapas, through their austerities, through, or as Swami Vivekananda said, work, worship, psychic control, or philosophy, or any one of them or all of them, by using them, who succeeds in removing those thin layers one by one, which is an arduous task, which is not so easy that today I decide and I will be able to do it in a day or in a month or in a year. No. It's a constant process. It's a way of life. And when I am able to remove those layers of aham, then Brahma starts manifesting itself. Look at the world civilizations. Every civilization is defined by characteristics which are variable and alienable. either by the color of his skin, or by the language, or by the faith tradition. Beliefs are not very different, but the manner of giving expression to your belief are different. And based on that, civilizations have been identified. Rather defined, not identified, defined. How the Indian civilization, Indian culture is defined. It is not defined by any variable or alienable characteristic. It is defined by inalienable and invariable Atma, which is the common inheritance of all mankind, and not just mankind. The Indian thought leaders acknowledged Atma even in non-humans, animals, birds, the water beings who live in water, plants, trees, and even inanimate objects. You are not permitted to hit even a rock, and Ahalya may be there. Or one herself or himself may be born as a rock in the next birth. So you have not to show disrespect even to inanimate objects. That is the message of. Basically, I often wonder, this essence of Upanishad, if we really internalize it, then what will be the consequences? What will be the logical fallout? The logical fallout will be that nobody in this world is other to us. We are all linked with each other, spiritually connected with each other. And we are all samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishthintam parmeshwaram vinashyat swa vinashyantam ya pashyati sa pashyati. We all have eyes. But Lord Krishna tells us that the person who really sees is one who sees the indestructible in things which are destructible. Everything is destructible. Na asata vidyate bhava, na abhava vidyate sata. Something which is real, which is not real, does not exist. And something which is real, there is no ceasing of existence for it. And the wise, ubhayo api, the wise, tattvadarshi bhi, in the end it comes. The wise realize this. We have this concept of mithya. We have satya and mithya. Not falsehood. Mithya is not false. Mithya is subjective existence. It exists. But everything else, there is only ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. The real is only one. Everything else, Adi Shankara has said, Shlokardhena Brahm Satya Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmeva Na Para. So, the message of the Upanishad is that each one of us is essentially divine. In that portrait, we are seeing the princes of Kashi, but every one of us is princes of Kashi. And that is what, the other point I wanted to make. When Swami Vivekananda spoke in the World Parliament of Religion, many of you must have read that account. And he said, sisters and brothers of America. Every speaker addresses in the same manner. Why his words had such a lasting impact? I asked this question to myself. Every speaker, we say Sahodari, Sahodran Mare. Why his words had such a lasting impact? Because these words were coming from the mouth of a person who not only believed but practiced that everybody was his brother and sister. He was not merely speaking. He was walking the talk. He believed in that, believed strongly. And if you believe in something strongly, then it creates tremendous impact on people. And there is so much to quote. Another point which I would like to make, that Indian civilization, because of our wealth, intellectual wealth which has come in the form of Vedanta, Indian civilization was considered knowledge civilization. And all we must not forget that monuments of mind are more lasting than monuments of power. The Bhagavad Gita, to give you an example, and the old fort in Delhi, Purana Qila, they are of same age. Because Mahabharata tells us that before the Mahabharata, before the war, when Pandavas established their capital by burning the forest of Khandava-Parast, and the name they gave to their capital was Indraprasth. At that time, when they had burnt the forest, then the architect of the Asuras, Maya, he prayed for his life to be saved, and in return he promised that he will build. He was the architect of the Asuras. He will build their capital. So his life was spared. What he built was monument of power. And what few years later, Bhagwan Krishna delivered the message which he delivered in the field of Kurukshetra was monument of mind. The old fort is in ruins. Bhagavad Gita, not a comma or full stop has changed. Therefore, monuments of one message of India is that don't rely so much on your physical strength. That also is important. But we need to rely more on the brain power. We are fortunate that more than 1,000 years back, there was Adi Shankara, and more than 100 years back, there was Swami Vivekananda. They have not said anything new, but they have interpreted that ancient wisdom to meet the requirements of their times, intellectual requirements of their time. And think about it. I have already taken 30 minutes, therefore I am going to conclude. I am sorry, I have taken rather more than 30 minutes. And with this I will conclude. That Adi Shankara, when he traveled from here, in search of his guru. What was the name of the guru? Gaurapada. So he met him on the bank of the Narmada, and he asked him that he is in search of so and so, and instead of revealing his identity that I am that person, he asked him, but first tell me who you are. And at that young age, because he had internalized the message of the Upanishads, message of the Vedanta, at that young age, presuming, not knowing that he is the guru in whose search he has come there. He may be anybody, a stranger. But the reply which he gives, I think that sums up the message of the Upanishad. Manobudh ahankar chittani naham nacha shrotra jihve nacha ghran netre nacha vyom bhumir natoijo navayu chidanand rupa shivoham shivo. Thank you very much, and again thank you very much, Swamiji, for your kind invitation, and again my best wishes to Dr. Namboothiri. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Valre Nanni, Jai Hind.